All right. So that's that. I fell in love with that song. It's by an underground, kind of a neo soul artist. Her name is Toy Horn. Toi Horn. Horn. That song is called Let It Happen. Let It Happen by Toy Horn. That should be bang. And nobody heard it but me. Title is Will the Real Egyptians Please Stand Up? So I follow this brother named Gamal, and I just like his YouTube channel. And he kind of for 7 months haven't been on YouTube and doing his own thing, right? So he put together an amazing compilation. Can y'all hear me good? First of all, hit the number one if you can. So Gamal is a black guy from Tanzania. So he's in the East African region, currently living. That's where he's from. He's a black guy, Tanzanian. So he studies a lot of East and North African history and studies a lot of Egyptian history, and he puts together a hell of a correlation. So what's happening, YouTube fans? I'm gonna play this. Did I say fans? I didn't really didn't mean that. My YouTube family. Okay. Um, so yeah, what's up, Donnie? So what from West Africa asked me, Chief, are you going to Northwestern Missouri State University homecoming? That's the university my son is playing football at right now. He's a junior. Um, I'm gonna play this stuff. Let me just, cause I'm gonna play the video. But just to clarify, so people know, my son did accept an offer at North um, Western Missouri State University, one of the top D2 universities in the nation. Won many national championships, and he's playing wide receiver there. So hey, West Africa. I don't know when the homecoming game is, but I will be flying out for at least 2 games this season. So maybe the homecoming game is one of the games I should fly out to, and maybe I don't know if you live there still, but we can meet up, right? So yeah, just I'll find. I got a schedule. I'm gonna post the schedule, but yeah. If I can turn my mic just a little this time, I appreciate it. Okay. So, what's up, Michael Samuelson? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So, um, the brother's video, who I'm gonna play, he's from Tanzania. He's he knows about Afrocentrics in Black America, and he thinks y'all are full of shit as far as scholarship wise. So he's a black man in Tanzania, actually a citizen of Tanzania, who makes videos coming at Afrocentrics and just clarifying. And he's a very polite guy. He's not like me, go hard. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, he's going. So I just wanted to play his video because I know a lot of people, Afrocentrics, and some of my YouTube friends haven't seen it. You know what I mean? So um, I made a video a while back saying the modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. So um, to my understanding, right? Um, I could be wrong. I stand to be corrected. The modern Egyptians are approximately 67% of the genetic composition of the ancient Egyptians, right? The ancient Egyptians never disappeared. The ancient Egyptians didn't go through no genocide where they all got killed. The ancient Egyptians are still right there in Egypt today. Just like all the other colonized sub-Saharan African countries when the Europeans chopped up and divvied up Africa, the people didn't disappear. Whether they were colonized, controlled, whether their political system was replaced, whether their religious system was replaced, the people are still there. The people in Ghana who was colonized by the Brits are still there. They never disappear. People just don't disappear like that, right? Um, uh, the Congolese people are still there. People in Angola are still there. Vast, vast, vast majority black people, right? Same as the ancient Egyptians. Even though they got, I don't even like to know if I should use the word colonized when it comes to Arabs entering ancient Egypt. Well, it wasn't ancient at that time. I guess you could say ancient. But they took over politically and religiously. Let's just put it that way, right? Those that did come in, right? So it wasn't like a war like we think, being savage and they just shooting up, killing, and going on. And things happened over time, and politically they changed. The Arabs entered Egypt. So Egypt is an Islamic country right now, right? But the people are still the same. A lot of people don't know. You may not have watched my video, but Egypt, currently, the people, Egyptian citizens, Egypt is only 17% Arab. So the rest are Egyptian, North African. Just like people are Ghanaian, which is Ghana is a country in in Africa. Egypt is a country in Africa. They're called Egyptians. Basically, North Africans. Now, there's a little difference, I guess, between an Egyptian and a Berber, per se. They look similar. They have genetic affinities together. You know what I mean? So, like a place like, I don't know if it's Iran, has the biggest population of Arabs, or in Iran, I think. I may be wrong. I stand corrected. But Egypt is only 17% Arab. Mr. Boot. Oh, I wasn't reading the comments. I'm looking at them now. Like, it's hard for me to read comments. I'll get distracted and forget shit. My memory ain't shit. So, Mr. Boot, what you say? Mr. Boot. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So, Mr. Boot says, the brother who defends your Moroccan heritage. So you're Amazigh, right, Mr. Boot? Mr. Boot says, I'm a North African Berber Moroccan. Those are the Amazigh, the Berber Moroccan. And I feel sad because West Africa has a rich history. I just don't know why Afrocentrists ignore it out of shame or whatever, right? Appreciate your comment. Ancient Egyptians never vanished, he says. They just changed culture and religions. The culture is still alive. We kept a lot of it, but also lost a lot of it. Right? A proud Berber here. There you go, Mr. Boot. So, let's go ahead and get into this. Let me share my screen. Let me share the system audio. Okay. And I'm just going to play this video. It's a 2-hour video, so I'm just going to push play. I may interject in between to clarify some stuff for Afrocentrics. And he showed also some Shapti. Is that how you pronounce it? Shapti, the little small figurines. They're still making those in ancient Egypt. Nobody else is making this shit. The Nubians ain't making none of this shit. Nubians ain't processing papyrus. They ain't doing none of that. But Let's just talk because it wasn't their culture like that. So here we go, family.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Gamal Nasser here once again. I welcome you all, and I know it's been a while. The reason for that is I've been working on quite a huge video. So what I'm presenting today, it's gonna prove beyond a doubt that the modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians, nobody else. And I just want to firstly apologize because this is an unscripted video, and it's unscripted because there's just so much and I wouldn't be able to write down everything I want to say as there's way too many slides. And it's going to be a little different as I'm going to be showing a lot of pictures and I will comment when necessary. I won't be talking all the time. But I do want you all to pay attention to the visual imagery. And essentially, I have done about 15 or so main points as to why the Egyptians of today have to be the real ones. As in have to. It has to be them, nobody else. You know, the evidence I'll present, it's basically just the kind of continuity, and it's gonna cover a lot. So I hope you can be patient. And I truly believe any Afrocentric, any Hotep, whoever, if you can sit down right now and just, even like, I don't mind if you just look through all the images or whatever and you're not really interested in what I have to say. Even if you just do that, you'll be convinced for sure the Egyptians today are the ancient Egyptians. They're descendants of that civilization. Okay, with all that being said, let's begin. So, number one, papyrus cultivation and creation. So, nobody else does this anywhere on the continent. You know, Egyptians have been harvesting, cutting, processing the paper reed, cyperus, papyrus for a very, very long time, thousands of years. You know, nobody else does this and turns it into the paper. A young boy bundling it up just like his ancestors used to do, as you can see here. I hope this is clear enough for all of you to see. More Egyptians hard at work.
Hit the like button, y'all.
Again. It's really amazing, to be honest, that after all this time, around the villages in the north, actually, you can still find it.
So Vanilla Scoop, you just drop up in here in 1 minute. You're already talking, saying he's biased. You're already on defense mode. You cannot grasp information where you're in defense mode. Breathe. Listen and enjoy the information. I would never share any falsehoods with you, Vanilla Scoop. Just trust me on this. Chief X would never share any falsehood with you. If I did, I would tell you it's falsehood. Okay? Nobody's making papyrus stuff. Nobody's making shop teas. Nobody is carrying on this tradition except modern Egyptians. Nubians aren't carrying on none of these traditions. You won't see no nappy-head black folk carrying on any ancient traditions. Egyptians are carrying on their traditions. Just listen and chill out.
And it's of high quality, you know. This whole process, it's authentic ancient Egyptian papyrus making.
And if you didn't hear, you probably came late. This is a black man, a Tanzanian from East Africa. He's not a black American talking. He's not an Egyptian talking. He's not an Arab talking. He is a very dark-skinned, black, nappy-headed Tanzanian who lives on the continent in East Africa, Tanzania, in Kenya. Okay? When you come late, rewind it. That's all you got to do. Rewind it and kick back.
Look here, the difference between white people and Egyptians, you know. These are not Europeans. They're indigenous North Africans.
I'm not going to argue with anybody in the chat. I'm going to play this video. But he's proving what he's saying. He's showing you. Literally, is nothing biased about him. A person can be wrong about a certain thing. That doesn't mean that they're biased. Okay?
Look at all of this. They work.
Look at all them papyrus papers. What nappy-head tribe got a log of all this shit and do this shit? Name one.
Really hard, you know? And you guys just insult them. As if any of you are doing really hard, you know? Look at all of this. They work really hard, you know? And you guys just insult them. As if any of you are doing this. Nonsense, man. So it's kind of, I did include some of it in my video. The Low Egyptians in ancient and modern times. There's some of this continuity I showed there, so go and watch it, as I don't want to repeat any images. This guy has an amazing Egyptian phenotype. Crazy. As I said, guys, I won't be talking all the time. And I hope the background music is enough to at least keep you focused and relaxed. Alright, so that's done. We'll be looking at the ancient papyrus. This is the modern papyrus. Now the ancient. And just saying, when I go through this, I'll also be including images of modern Egyptians, just to compare and contrast. Nobody else makes this on the continent. None. Only the modern Egyptians. Many Egyptians were light-skinned. Since the beginning, in pre-dynastic times, especially in Lower Egypt. I mean, especially when you look at the modern Egyptian phenotype, it's not like Arab or anything like that. It just looks Egyptian. Like, as we go through this presentation, you'll see Egyptians have their own unique look. They're not Turks, they're not Persians, they're not French, or all these stupid invasions, whatever you Afrocentrists are always saying. It's wrong. They're Egyptians. These are lower Egyptians. Even when you look at the facial features, men are darker, women lighter. You see that, right? It's an artistic convention I'll talk more about as we progress. Another lighter Egyptian woman. Yeah, and something I've noticed about Egyptian features, no matter what region they're from, this is another boy from Cairo, they have a kind of mulatto appearance due to having some sub-Saharan ancestry and also Western Eurasian. You know, this boy, he's not an invader. Just look at his features, man. That's Egyptian. Even the white ones, they're very pale skinned. They're indigenous. You've seen it for yourself. You've seen it. They were there.
Donnie, well, I know you didn't say look at shit, Donnie. So these are aspects. If anyone follows, we've already went over the entire North African DNA profile. We've been over every aspect of this. This is just showing you cultural continuity. That's the purpose of this video. To show you certain customs that the ancient Egyptians did or practices, certain ways they dealt with papyrus plants, certain ways they made Shapti figurines and shit like that. So it's just showing you that they've carried on these traditions and that no other people has carried on these traditions except the Egyptian people, who traditions they were, right? So this is something you may have to use your common sense and logic on and just be real with yourself. And don't look for an excuse. Just listen and pay attention and use your logic.
Especially this boy. Doesn't he look kind of mixed, right? Egyptian children. You know, Egyptians, they have no issues with the sun. They tan very well. And especially in the south, they naturally have higher melanin levels. You know, some Afrocentrists, like I see someone made a comment about skin cancer. It's just so ridiculous, man. Ugh. Sometimes I want to slap some of you people. Jeez. The Book of the Dead.
Pause. Look at these beautiful children. Y'all leave these people's culture and history alone. This is their history.
You know that convention, lighter women and dark men.
Pause.
Alright, so
Yeah, so they always have the darker tanned Egyptian men and the lighter women. But when you see Nubians and things like that, they don't have a lighter women because they weren't light-skinned people.
you know that convention, lighter women and dark men. Alright, so I added
That's my Halfrey. She's a Nubian. I mean, he's a Nubian.
this because I just wanted to clarify something about the Nubians in Egypt, because they lived in proximity to the Egyptians, so it was normal to have a number of them who would come to prominence. So this is Ma'i Herpri, and you can see how the Egyptian boy is depicted different to him. And here, this is what I visualized them to have looked like. I think it's a pretty close match, Nubian and Egyptian. And that's not to say all Nubians were dark, especially later on they started mixing, if you're familiar with some of the content I've shown on my channel.
Later on.
And yeah, you know, if the Egyptians liked you, they would depict you like themselves. So imagine if someone just saw this, right? They would assume that's how the person looked, but inside, that's how Ma'i Herpri was, a black Nubian man. And his final papyrus sheet. Okay, with that being done, we move on to the ancient martial arts, known as Saidi Tahtib.
Pause, let me pause it. Just like, you know, they have martial arts in there. Now, this is stick fighting martial arts, but when Ashraf Kwesi and the Afrocentrics claim that they're called the Mantu arts, they're wrong as fuck. No such thing as the Mantu arts, okay? There's no such thing. I don't know where they got that from, where they made that bullshit up. There's also no such thing as African martial arts. Africa's a fucking continent. So it's no such thing called African martial arts. It's no such thing called Mantu arts, okay? All martial arts, all fighting combat styles have a specific name. If a motherfucker say African martial arts, you should automatically know. All martial arts, all combat forms have a specific name. They don't just say, this is fighting. You know, they have a name for the specific art. Thai boxing, Muay Thai, okay? Boxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu. It's so many that I haven't even mentioned, but those are just basic shits y'all know, okay? Boxing is a martial arts. Wrestling is a martial arts. Any combat art is a martial art.
And this martial arts, it goes back thousands of years. It's also known as stick dance or play fighting, stick fighting, etc. So here it is in the ancient time and here in the modern. Really amazing how the tradition has lasted so long. I don't know anyone else outside of Egypt that practices tahtib. You do have like donga stick, but that's actually quite different. Yeah, this guy here is Ashraf Hamada, and he's working to preserve this ancient art. And this is Rania Medat, the first female Tatib instructor. See how modern Egyptians really care to preserve all of their ancient heritage. They also do have the variety on horseback, too. And this one especially, no one else on the continent does it.
He said no one else on the continent does this. Donnie, in 2022, there's blacks in Egypt as ethnic groups today. Okay, so you're looking at 100 of them. You may see one or two. Don't get too excited. Like you see, like 15 of these men. Don't jump for joy because you see then one black pop up. Don't jump for joy. Okay, I'll just fuck with y'all.
See, the exact same thing, guys. Exact same thing. They're still doing it. It's practiced in Lower Egypt as well, but I think it's more of an Upper Egyptian thing. But I have seen a lot in the north do it too. Look at their skin, man. These guys have no issues with the sun at all. Actually, like if we, especially us tropical Africans, like Western and Central Africans, like if we go to this kind of climate, it's not good for us because we're largely forest people. Some more depictions of it. Like the clash. Once again.
You see, these are melanated peoples right here. And when you see that red ochre on wall and the melanated ancient Egyptians, this is all you're looking at. Dark-skinned people. They use what they have around them, earth, to draw. Red ochre is part of the earth. So they just use a dark color to portray people. Because they are fucking dark. These men right here are darker than Sarah Seti. They are more melanated than many black Americans. But don't mean they're black. So when you see something melanated figure in ancient Egyptian art, it doesn't mean black people. It just means that they're melanated people who've been in the fucking desert sun.
Okay, that ends that section. Next up, 3. Pottery, alabaster, and stele manufacturing. So this essentially shows the creativity that still goes on in modern Egyptians today. And this in particular, the alabaster factories, it's really largely a southern Egyptian enterprise. Look at the difference, man. This European lady and this Saidi man.
Right. So one is white, the other is Caucasian. Technically, they're both Caucasian, but like people were saying in the chat in the beginning, all Europeans are Caucasian, but not all Caucasians are white. You get what I'm saying? That's the classification in physical anthropology. So the guy on the right, I call Caucasian, because that's just what he is. The one on the left, I call a white woman. So since Chief X, when Chief X is talking, he say Caucasian, I'm talking about those people by the Caucasus Mountains. I'm talking about Arabs, and I'm talking about North Africans. When I say white, that's what the fuck I mean. White people, Germany, Poland, you know what I mean, England, shit like that.
You Afrocentrists really make me laugh with your stupidity. Anyway, I'll try to keep it cool.
Vanilla Scoop, you're about to be blocked. I don't do all this disingenuous bullshit in the chat. You're not gonna do no counterintelligence in my chat and try to dissuade people from the truth when you know what you're seeing is truth. So I know the difference between somebody being wrong and somebody intentionally lying. You're intentionally being deceitful in the chat, and that's what I don't play. So you got one more warning, and I'm not going to just time you out. I'm going to block you, okay? So chill the fuck out. Did you hear what I said?
It's so tiring, you know. You guys are just so blind. Ugh.
Get over it, nigga. Egyptians wasn't black.
It's quite amazing. It starts just as a mineral stone, and they carve it into so many intricate objects, sculptures, and more.
I told you, he is just making a video, but you don't listen to motherfucking thing because you're too busy typing and you're not listening. This is not a video to show scholarship and DNA examples and all. This is not that type of video. I clearly said 3 times, they're just showing visual examples of cultural continuity. How modern Egyptians are still doing certain practices and making certain things that they made in Egyptian times. And this is primary evidence he's showing. I'm not here to show no fucking writings and scholarships. I'm here to show you a video and visuals today. Common sense should say that to you. So what you're doing is either have mental health problems and are deranged, or you're deceitful. It's either one of the two. Either you have mental health problems or you're deceitful. One of the two.
This is from Abu El Hassan Alabaster Factory in Luxor. This man in particular, he has quite a few videos on YouTube that you can check out as well.
You want some scholarship? Watch the last video I did. That should piss you off. I show scholarship on that one.
They still make the stele as well. You know, where
they still
in Africa do people still make the stele?
Is Nubians making stele? Show me.
Only them. They do thousands of this stuff. It's everywhere. Look at that. Beautiful. I think this is Nefertiti and the sun disk god are 10. But I do have to brush up on my Egyptian history and mythology. Still though, really amazing. Doing stuff like this is like nothing to them. They've been practicing for thousands of years. This is the final alabaster product from that rock. Even glow in the dark. Egyptians are really innovative people. Amazing. Oh, Nama palette. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I seen Vanilla Scoop in my little enemies chat and shit, co-signing and going kikiing and shit. So this is a nigga who's mad because I've destroyed the people he look up to. This is his problem. I've destroyed the shit he believed, and I've destroyed the people he look up to. So he's just lashing out right now.
Stele. Hasn't ancient Egypt just come to life? Can't you see it?
I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I gotta run to my car.
It's so obvious.
Y'all see these melanated dark men? So when I be talking about, I don't be talking about skin color. These other dudes be talking about skin color. I don't be talking about skin color. I keep telling people there's plenty of other races darker than you. I've been to the Philippines. I've been all over the Asia. There's plenty Filipinos. There's plenty people from Thailand and Cambodia. They all darker than you. A lot of you black Americans. But it don't mean they're black. It's just a skin tint.
I really like the Saidis because, you know, their skin is very dark, but they don't look like us, you know, black Africans. They have a lot of melanin. Beautiful. You know, these men work so hard, and you Afrocentrists, you just claim their history without putting any damn work in. Look at this, man. Can you guys even carve anything like this? We do steal their history without putting any work in. Pathetic. Look at all these products, amazing. Thousands, man, thousands. And they do it daily.
See, all these Afrocentrics who took their ass to Egypt, they didn't come back tell you none of this shit. Just like a lot of people who went to Ghana and West Africa didn't come back and tell you shit. When I went to Ghana and West Africa, I came back telling you that real shit. These niggas be hiding shit when they come back. They don't tell you that real. They don't tell you that's all they see is Egyptians when they go there, and they rarely see blacks. They don't tell you that shit.
You can find a lot of them at the souvenir shops. Amazing. Look at him. Skin tone very dark. Same with this boy. These are the red people, the orange people that you see on the walls. This is symbolism. Yeah, this is the Morsi alabaster shop. They're not afraid of their dark skin. That's how they are. These are West Bank people from Ghana. These are ancient.
Them things, they call them shop teas, I think. He'll say it, but I think they call these things shop tea. These little tiny figurines and shit. Jonathan Owens, Smash Rockwell, did a video today and mentioned these shop teas and stuff like that. He just didn't tell you that they're still being produced by non-black people.
Shabtis, and you saw already that they still make things like this, just like their ancestors. But you Afrocentrists, you don't do anything. You just claim, steal. It's ridiculous. Here's the papyrus. Remember, we already covered the papyrus. I can't go back as it's pretty far with all the slides I have, but you get the idea. More Shabtis. You'll never find these Ushabti anywhere else.
Caucasian, white. You can get that through your thick skull.
They're not white. They're not black either. They're Egyptian. They have so much, even the wooden sculptures they do. They do everything, just like their ancestors. But you Afrocentrists, you do nothing. You just talk crap online.
Yeah, you said he did an amazing job with this video and production and putting all this together. Yeah, he said I had a conversation with him. He said it took him a long time to put all these images together and find these pictures and match it with. He said it took him a long time. So, I'm grateful for him putting in this work to explain this, the brother from Tanzania. Because he sees these people all the time, being that he's in Kenya and Tanzania and has traveled to Egypt. He sees these people all the time. He's even Muslim. So he even speaks the language of these people. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hear no black Americans saying shit.
More Saidis, hard at work. I call them Thebians as well, the inhabitants of Thebes. Yeah, these shops are everywhere. King Tut. Yeah, guys, as I said, I really don't mind if you just scroll through and see the pictures, as I think everything in general just speaks for itself. I don't need to comment too much.
I'm gonna put it in the chat, but you can go to Gamal Nasser Reloaded page.
This is just so perfect, man. That's an ancient Egyptian.
Oh, it's in the description. It's in the description.
It's his history, man.
he's showing is as far as modern artifacts are made solely for tourists. Like who else? It's of course they're making it to sell it. I mean, like, I mean, why would a person making this want a bunch of these things in his house? I'm sure the citizens have some of this artwork in their house. He makes it for anyone who wants to buy it.
As well, apologize if there's any.
So, of course, if Egypt is a big tourist destination, they're going to sell to tourists. People making money.
Image repeats, because I had to include so many pictures in this presentation. It was tiring, but I think it's worth it. I'm sure you get the point by now. Yeah, this guy's really good. That's amazing. The thing with Saidis, they have a really unique look. They don't look like Horners at all. And people are always saying the ancient Egyptians were Kushites, which is completely...
Let me pause. Let me just clear up something, right? So, you'll see loose curly hair and stuff at times, right? There's other populations who have loose curly hair that from a distance might look like an afro. And it doesn't mean that they're have Negro blood, right? So this population's all in the Polynesian areas, and a lot of people who have no genetic relationship to continental Africans. Certain areas, people's hair just fucking curl. You guys did not invent the curly hair.
False. I'll be covering that soon. They have a distinct look. Some do use machines as well, rather than the traditional method. You know, this used to just look like that stone block. Phenomenal, man. And this ends this section. Alright, so next is the architecture, sculpture, and construction. This is the Supreme Court, designed by a native Egyptian named Ahmed Mito. Look at that. Amazing. Look at that. And just to pair off with the modern architecture, just included some of the old. to give an idea just how inspired they are.
Wait a minute. Man, cool. As soon as you said that, I went to Vanilla Scoop page. Nigga ain't got not one video, not one presentation. All he has is music playlist, and it's some weird ass music. Yeah, he's a weirdo, right? No, and then he asked to debate somebody, and the nigga got 21 followers with not one presentation or video he ever made. He won't even show his face. Talking about debate me. We got some wackos in the community, I'm telling you, boy. Y'all be careful out here.
You don't see buildings like this or the upcoming ones anywhere in the rest of the continent. Because people know, in general, Egypt isn't us. It's not our history. It's theirs. It's all theirs. Doesn't this give you an eye into what it was like in ancient Egypt? And all these things, the buildings. This is how the pyramids were built. Took a long time, but it was a human effort. It wasn't aliens. It wasn't electromagnetism, all those crazy theories. It was done by skilled stonemasons. They had a lot of complex technology that they used. These guys here are Lower Egyptians, by the way. I was showing a lot of CITES before, just because these structures are in the south, so it's only right to show them, as that's their part. But yeah, these are Lower Egyptians. Giza. Even with Egyptians in the north, they get enough sun exposure and they're good to go. Northern Egyptian next to a black woman. Hardly a difference. And Egyptians are still building large structures and buildings based on what their ancestors did.
Wait. They actually doing construction on this pyramid on the left?
Based on what their ancestors did. More Northern Egyptians. Look how dark they are, man. Wow. These are CITES, of course. This is Abu Hagag Mosque. I mentioned it before, a mix of a mosque and an old Egyptian temple. So it kind of synthesizes the two religions, or spirituality. It's the temple and the mosque built into one thing. I really want you to pay attention to how all of the structures translates to the modern era in their own buildings.
What I don't know is if he took these pictures himself, because there's some different type of pictures here. You know what I mean? Like, it's like he's familiar with the pictures. So I'm not sure if he visited and took pictures and stuff himself, or he just downloaded some pictures, but he really put together a good presentation. Correct, Egyptologist.
I also do include just some phenotypes of people on the side, depending on the region of where the building is. And also it keeps it interesting, instead of just showing one thing. Yeah, some Saidis can get almost blackish, but they don't identify as that. They just identify as Egyptian or Saidi Arab. People need to stop forcing them into the black and white paradigm.
You hear what he said? He said people need to stop forcing them into a black and white paradigm. So that's why we all keep saying the experts and the consensus is they're neither black or white. They're Egyptian. They're North African.
These are northern Egyptians, and this is a Saidi man. Yep, these are men from Luxor. Pay attention to them versus the white people. They have no sun issues, guys. It's time you Afrocentrists leave the modern Egyptians alone. You have nothing to do with it. It's their history, their civilization, their heritage. Giza boys. There's so many buildings like this around the country. Especially with the pillars and overall structure. Now look at this. Where else do you find you don't find a continuity like this at all in sub-Saharan Africa. You don't. And the modern Egyptians have translated it so well. How their ancestors used to depict the scenes of life on the walls, you know. Beautiful. they haven't forgotten where they've come from. Look at all the Egyptian symbolism, the motifs. Egyptians are very proud and patriotic people. They love their country. They love their heritage. This is probably my favorite. Present age, modern age, Islamic age, Pharaonic age. They love their heritage. They are so proud of it. Can you Afrocentric haters ever do anything like this? You don't show this level of continuity. You just don't. Even more buildings, there was so many. But I got tired of searching and I just selected some of the most interesting to me. Look at that. Ancient Egyptian. As I was saying, I did include pictures of people on the site, so you can gauge the phenotype as well. This isn't an Arab. This isn't a Greek. This isn't a Persian. This is an Egyptian. Lower Egypt. Even Lower Egyptians, they're slightly lighter, but you can still see the Egyptian phenotype on them. They even do sphinxes. Feel free to pause at any time if you want to look at something in more depth. I'm kind of going to speed it up a bit because I don't want to lose your guys' attention. This one's really nice, how they incorporated the pyramid into the structure. Phenomenal. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of Hatshepsut's temple. This is the Maiden Pyramid in Lower Egypt. There are a lot of pyramids in Egypt that people are just not aware of, too. You can see the sharp, angular style that's been incorporated as well. This is Tomb of Seti I at Abydos. See how the pillars are laid out, right? This looks so much like the tombs and structures found in Saqqara. This is the Imhotep Museum. Hatshepsut's mortuary complex. Children from Luxor. There's some of them.
So let me pause. So you see the children, right? You have dark-skinned children, you have lighter-skinned children. It's the same with all, just about all peoples. You got light-skinned people like Sarah Seti. Then you got dark-skinned people like Idris Elba. But they're still the same stock. You get what I'm saying? People who are melanated have different shades of color.
Can get really, really dark. Police officer. He doesn't look black. Sorry. He's a Saidi. More Saidis. Yeah, they really look South Asian. My goodness. Dravidian, in particular. And more children. See how that architecture has translated? Yeah. Here. This place in particular, it's dedicated to the legendary Egyptian sculptor Mahmud Mokhtar. You can really see how he was inspired by what came before him. It speaks for itself, really. You know, it's the same blocky Egyptian style of sculpture, carved from a single stone. Looks just like the wall reliefs that we see. Exactly like how the ancient Egyptians used to show themselves. A perfect modern interpretation of that. Very talented man. This is probably his most well-known one. From a single granite slab. And here's another one, Gamal El Sagini. Not as well known as Mahmud Mokhtar, but still a very talented sculptor in his own right. You can see the ancient Egyptian motifs. It's pretty self-evident how he was inspired by his ancestors. Doesn't this this ceramic. It reminds you of how the Egyptians depicted the Nubians, the Libyans, which we'll see towards the end. This is a Nubian boy from Aswan. And okay, I included this as well because it's showing that the modern Egyptians are still continuing building colossal structures, not just in their lands, but others as well. So this is the Rufiji hydropower project that's being built by Egyptians in my country. So it's a really massive dam project. There's a number of them. And that's going to supply all of my people, you know. And this is why, like, when you Afrocentrists insult modern Egyptians, it really pisses me off because they're doing so much investment in sub-Saharan Africa. You can look into the other places.
Now, he's saying this because he is a Tanzanian, a Kenyan, and he lives there on the continent. He's an East African. So he's familiar with the works and what's helping them or what have you. Okay? So let this man tell his story and show you what he sees and is into.
They're doing it as well. And you really have to ask yourself, why is it the modern Egyptians are building these colossal structures in our lands and not the other way around if we're the real Egyptians? It doesn't make any sense. All you guys do is steal their history and insult them. It's disgusting. And I'm sick of it, man. I'm really sick of it. Here they are, modern Egyptians and Tanzanians. Egyptians are really skilled in building these massive structures. The pyramids, the Sphinx, those temples that you saw. Man, we just have to accept it, you know? Stop being so deluded. That's the reality. And I definitely want better relations between North Africans and Sub-Saharans. We share a continent, and we should respect their history. Look at this. This is now in Egypt. As I said, they're still building. Look at it, magnificent. The Egyptian style architecture, it's found in so many places. This is the new Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's just so amazing how the ancient style comes into the modern, and they merge together so nicely. All right, I just want to take a quick tangent to just debunk some. Firstly, the Black Hebrews, you know, they have a lot of these crazy ideas about leprosy and all that, you know. Black people are not the only ones that suffer from vitiligo. Especially North Africans, they have melanin-rich skin. So they're also afflicted with it, unfortunately. And it just shows, you know, they're a brown people. They're not European invaders or whatever canard you guys try to pull. Okay, back to the main topic of architecture. And they erected the obelisks number of places. And it looks so good next to the contemporary styles. Inside the station, you can see it, man. Ancient Egypt. It's everywhere. This is a hotel gallery, I believe. Now you understand how they built all these massive things, all these massive statues. I do hope though that they can improve the general cleanliness. Because if you're going there as a tourist, you obviously want to see everything, but it sucks that there's a lot of poverty in Egypt. That's another reason that angers me, because there's so many poor people and Afrocentrists are just insulting them. Man, they're trying to take their history, which is like all they have. And what they're known for, and you're trying to take that from them. Man, some of you guys can go to hell, honestly. You really piss me off. The modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. Upper Egyptians. It's a lie that Egyptians don't care about their heritage. These are the colossi of Memnon. Massive, massive structures, guys. Massive. You won't find this in Somalia. You won't find this in my part. You won't find this like anywhere, man. Anywhere else. Only maybe like Sudan by proxy. But even there, it's a bit different. Massive structure.
Oh, so the Afrocentrics didn't come back and show you these photos, huh? Oh, okay.
You know, they're still building it. These colossal statues. Such talent. The Egyptians never went anywhere. They've always been there. This is Lower Egypt. These are Lower Egyptians. Although I do show a lot of Saites, that's just because that's where some of the architecture is. But there's a lot of structures in the north as well. Both Lower and Upper Egyptians are 100% Egyptian. I always say it. Okay. Number 5. Contemporary Egyptian art and illustration. So this is Ala Awad. I really like his style because it's the perfect translation of what's found in Egyptian wall reliefs. And he's a Luxor-based artist from the south. It's really cool if you see the interview by him and he tells his story, how he was blown away by what his ancestors did, and how he wanted to preserve that. So we'll just be showing some of the work he's done. It's honestly amazing. I mean, look at how dark he is. This is all Luxor people. Man, Egyptians never went anywhere, guys. Get over it, you dumb hoteps. Get over it. And it's not just copying from the ancient Egyptians, but it's a continuation. He's a descendant. Yeah, his murals can be found in quite a number of places, even abroad too. They commissioned him to do some work in the US, Amsterdam, and other places. These are the ones in Egypt. I think this is based on the war with the Sea Peoples. He is so good, man. Tatib. Remember this from the Bull Palette. Oh man, it's just so sick. Some of his sketches. Procession. Alright, that's done with Alawad for now. There's more of his stuff coming up. Next up is work done by Sayed Saad Eldin. He's also another well-known and renowned fine artist in Egypt. Egyptians have always been fascinated by depicting their lifestyles and culture from ancient times till today. And And there he is, Syed Saad el-Din. Next is Ahmad Ibrahim. I really like how he shows the daily life in Egypt, all the colors he uses, and more things. And lastly, Reda Abdel Rahman. Okay, back to Ala Awad, some of his work. The process. And just to break it a bit, some people from Luxor. Boatmen. And this is a bridge art done by Syed Saad el-Din from before. Okay, so with that section finished, now holidays and celebratory festivals. The two main ones are Mulid el-Hagag. It's basically the modern Opet festival. Like a lot of the Opet traditions are still found there, even though it's about an Islamic state. The imagery, as noted by many Egyptologists, is strongly connected to what we see in the Opet procession. And Sham and Azim, or the Shamu festival, the season of the harvest. Okay, this is the Opet. See the boats being used. It was to celebrate the flooding of the Nile. This is one recorded in 1925. There's a great video about continuity in modern Egypt that I'll surely link in the description. And the modern era. They use a lot of incense, just like how the ancients used to. The boat, as we saw before. It's a very long procession. Lots of activities and festivities. Yeah, the El Hagag is celebrated in Luxor, South Egypt. That's why you notice everyone's really dark. Even in the ancient times, it was mostly just Luxor. The Opet. Well, no, it was more actually, it came from there. And to this day, they're still doing it. They've kept all those aspects and incorporated it into the Islamic festival for Abu Hagag, the saint. And you saw how they did that with the Sphinx Avenue. This happened just last year. You can check out the videos online as well. No, they really respect their history. These are,
like he says, people who respect their history. They're celebrating their history. They're celebrating their ancestors. And this is called being patriotic. Back off, Afrocentrics. If you want to study their culture, fine. But give them the credit and don't claim it for yourself.
Pharaohs and mummies being transported in these cars to the new museum. So amazing, man, how they're treating their ancestors. I mean, that's just man. The modern Egyptians once again are the ancient Egyptians. Okay, Sham and Azim, Shamu Festival. It's celebrating the harvest season.
Oh, so no black folks celebrate the harvest season. Oh, they didn't do this festival? What happened to the African Americans practicing their ancestors' festival? Oh man, y'all are hilarious.
And the foods they eat, like the fish, it's left out for a while, just like how it was in ancient Egypt. And apparently it smells pretty foul. But it's all traditions don't die. Yeah, here it is. The ancient Shamu. This is the fish. Feshik. Very smelly fish. Well, that's what I've been told by Egyptians, so maybe one day when I visit I can try this. And they eat the eggs as well. Nobody else celebrates Shamu, and nobody else celebrates the Opet.
I wonder why nobody else celebrates it. I wonder why.
Shamu celebrates Shamu, and nobody else celebrates the Opet. Shamu and Opet. These are just purely Egyptian holidays and festivals. No one has this continuity outside of Egypt. All right, that's done. Now the big one, language. Sahidic and Boharic Coptic. So anyone who's...
This is only halfway through. He got so much shit he gonna touch on. People just really need to pay attention and listen. So, we having class right now.
Who's familiar with Afro-Asiatic languages knows the Coptic dialects are the direct descendants. Not Cushitic, not Berber, not Semitic. the Egyptian language has full continuity with the Coptic one. And the language stopped being used around the 17th to 18th century due to people switching to Arabic, as that was the language for business, religion, and all other things. Never forget, it took Egypt 800 years to become Islamic majority. We Muslims, we've never once forced Christians to convert to our religion. 800 years, people were converting willingly. And I personally, I have no issues against Christians. They're our brothers and sisters. And I hope the Copts, whatever they're going through in Egypt, it can just be resolved and they can live well with the Muslims there. Inshallah, we'll have peace. They will have peace. I do think it's improved a lot though with what's his name? Al-Sisi. How could I forget the Egyptian president? Yeah, I think it's much better with Al-Sisi. Okay, just look at their phenotypes, man. Copts are not Greeks. That's just Afrocentric stupidity. They're Egyptians. And there's no difference between Copts and Egyptian Muslims. Genetically the same. It's been proven. More Copts. Just look at the features, man. Look at that. You can see the sub-Saharan admix. I'm not claiming them as black. They're Egyptian and North African people. Just genetically, they carry sub-Saharan ancestry. That's all I'm saying. More Copts. She passed away sadly. Well-known football player, but I can't remember his name. Coptic monks. Yeah, the phenotypes are really diverse.
Now that's a black man right there. I'll tell you that. He's a modern ethnic. He's a ethnic group in Egypt, more than likely. Not sure what ethnic group he's from.
You do have a natural, quote-unquote, Hamitic look within Copts, but you do as well have some others who are Semitic, because we do know about the Hyksos migration, which I'll cover as well soon. Just to be clear, Hamitic does not mean Horn of African. Berbers and Egyptians are also Hamitic. Okay, so yeah, here's the language. Archaic Egyptian first, then Old Egyptian, Middle Egyptian, Late Egyptian, Demotic Egyptian, and the two Coptic dialects, Sahidic and Boharic. That's the tree. Not any other unrelated Afro-Asiatic languages. A lot of people love saying it's Bantu is ancient Egyptian, Hausa, Sheikh Anta Diop with his language, Wolof. Somalis are guilty of this as well. No, you're all wrong. You stop misleading people. Coptic comes directly from Egyptian. This is the family. And here are Coptic monks from Jerusalem. I thought these were Copts at first, that's why it's here in the slide. But yeah, they're just some Muslim Giza, Falahin. But yeah, there's no difference between Copts and Muslims. And none of these people look like invaders at all. They're Egyptians. Egyptians have a unique Egyptian phenotype. all of them. More cops. No, Afrocentrists laugh when Egyptians dress like other ancestors did, but they really look good when they do it. You'll see more that I included. This is how the ancients looked. The Easter festival, I believe. Christians do this on Easter with the reeds. Yeah, even just look at the mouth area here. Kind of prognathic, right?
So this is loose curly hair. That's not nappy hair. Nappy hair is what I got. We call it tightly coiled. Okay? This is not tightly coiled. This is just loose curly. Okay? And it doesn't mean that they mixed with black folk. You got curly head people all over the goddamn world. And got no African DNA.
All right. And yeah, the Copts have a Coptic calendar, also known as the Alexandrian calendar. And it's based on the ancient Egyptian one. And even the Muslims follow it, the Muslim farmers, because the times and seasons, the flooding of the Nile, the seasonal harvest, all things like that, it's exactly the same. So all of them still use the ancient Egyptian calendar, which is now the Coptic calendar. So that's even more continuity. All right, that ends that section. So remember in my previous video, I covered aspects of farming and...
Oh, wait a minute. Don't go nowhere. It's about to get good. Don't go nowhere.
Agricultural techniques. So this is just more pictures I found. If you've seen my video...
Donnie Williams, he's not a language guy. He's not a linguist. He don't know about metanetter. He's just showing similarities. He's just showing the continuity. I keep saying this. Everybody that makes a presentation is not a multi-genius, y'all. Just take it for what it's worth. Enjoy the presentation. Enjoy the correlations and the cultural continuity that he's showing.
Video on Lower Egyptians. You're familiar with some of this already. The wheat is the staple. Wheat and bread, the staple in ancient Egypt. And they're still farming their wheat.
Wait a minute, are they farming wheat in sub-Saharan? I don't know, I'm just asking. Like this?
Here's the papyrus of wheat showing wheat harvest. Yes, many Egyptians were white.
I'm telling you, it's about to get good. Don't go nowhere. Pseudo's about to start crying.
And tanned men, tanned brown men. Exactly like that, being bent over, harvesting their crops.
Wait a minute. Egyptologist 7 in the chat said, you all know there's a huge paper coming on, you all know there's a huge paper coming out on 4,000 years of Egyptian DNA. Like, Egyptologist 7, I keep telling people, I keep saying, I said this yesterday, you niggas better get on the right side of history. I'm trying to tell you, every day they doing discoveries, and people, it's a lot of shit coming out. They doing discoveries every day, right? They're compiling shit. They got shit they're compiling they haven't put out yet. I keep telling you in 2, 3, 4 years, shit's gonna come out with some more shit was found and they did some testing and they have some DNA evidence proving shit. All these Afrocentrics gonna be looking real stupid in about 2, 3 years. Everybody in about 2 and 3 years gonna come. Hold on, I'm walking around my house talking to my phone, and the mic is right here in my desk. Wait a minute. So let me just repeat what I said. Oh my God. Look, hey Vanilla Scoop, stop arguing with people and saying dumb shit, and you won't get timed out. Just sit here and say that's interesting. They're sitting here making correlations. It's okay to sit here and say, you know, that's interesting. Damn, they do. That is continuity. It's okay to say that. You want to argue every single point this man is making, and you're becoming irritating. You want to harass people in the chat, and people are not trying to argue with you. You're not intellectually mature at all. You have no degree. You're not no engineer. It's all in your behavior. Your behavior is crazy, bro. Grown, mature men do not behave and talk like you, bro. I've been around too long, nigga. I was a counselor for 10 years. I know your kind. You're mentally disturbed. You're easily agitated, and you're an emotional wreck. Okay? I know you, nigga. I warned you early, and I'm still allowing you to disrupt my chat. I'm going to totally block you if you can't have an adult conversation. This is the last fucking warning. Okay, anyway. So, Agent Charlie said, basically, they got some genetic information going to be coming out soon one day. You know what I mean? I'm telling people, in 2-3 years, all these Afrocentrics going to be pissed off. I told you guys, and I've been saying, you better get on the right side of history. Because 2 and 3 years, some shit gonna come out and all Afrocentrics gonna be looking real stupid. And everybody, all they gonna do is think about what Chief X said. They gonna say, you know what? That nigga Chief X was right as fuck. He told us this shit. He said, get your ass on the right side of history and be a truth seeker. Here we are as dumb as a motherfucker. They got all this DNA now. They didn't find all other kind of shit. They didn't, you know what I mean? And y'all gonna be looking crazy. Get on the right side of history all the fucking time.
Yeah, you know, you Afrocentrists, you love your skin tone games. And I'm here to play some skin tone games. So don't get too excited just by seeing this. Because of this. See that? This is what that skin color is. This is a North Cairo farmer in Lower Egypt. Look how dark he is. Exactly like his ancestor. So just because you see brown people on those walls, that doesn't mean it's you, because it's not you. It's the modern Egyptians. I even used the ink dropper to get the tones. In fact, the modern one is even darker than whatever they depicted there. Low. You know, it's pretty much game over for you Afrocentrists. Just get over it. The modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. So much continuity, man.
The modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. We keep telling y'all crazy ass.
You know, and I'm really frustrated and tired because I've seen all of this and you guys still want to argue. They're melanated people.
Corey said they do love the color game, and I keep telling people, nothing I'm talking about am I talking about color. I'm talking more so phenotype and genetics and cultural continuity and who these people really are. We've went over the DNA of all of North Africa. We've gone over the continuity. We've gone over so much, and Afrocentrics are losing in every field we went over. I'm sorry.
More agricultural scenes. This is all from the north, by the way, North Cairo farmers, Felahin. Because they're always working outside. Oranges, pomegranates. Yeah, he's an Upper Egyptian. Farming family. Farmer from Luxor. This is from Minya. Once again, Luxor. Yeah, you'll see how the donkeys are in the ancient depictions. Yeah, I'm getting a bit tired, so I might just keep silent for a while and just show you the slides. As everything just speaks for itself, you know. This is a tiresome topic, guys. Just get over it, man, please. The modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. Donkeys are everywhere and utilized in the agricultural practices.
So I've never seen sub-Saharan Africans utilize donkeys for the agricultural work and farming. I've never seen it. I could be wrong.
Okay, with that out the way, traditional diet, al-shamsi bread. So this bread...
Donnie, you asked a question. Where did this elite science and language go? We've covered language so many times. We know where that went. Like, not today, but many people have covered language. I mean, like, have you not listened to people? Okay. What science are you speaking of? What you guys mean is building technology. As far as science, they was into a lot of fucking pseudoscience in ancient Egypt too. We got to be real about that. They had some pseudo medical practices. They had a lot of crazy pseudo shit they was into also. But they had great building technology, right? So, I mean, they're still building great shit. People just forgot how the pyramids was built. I mean, but I'm not sure what science you're looking for, what you mean. Okay.
It has been eaten for so damn long. It's the ancient Egyptian bread, essentially.
What did he call that bread?
Bread is the staple eaten for... Okay, with that out the way, traditional diet, al-shamsi bread. So this bread has been eaten for so damn long. It's the ancient Egyptian bread, essentially. Bread is the staple. It's eaten by everyone every single day. It's mass manufactured, but as well traditionally baked, like how the ancients used to. They're still making it. depictions of the bread. See, it's on the plate, and then once you warm it up, it expands. Here it's already expanded. And yeah, here they are baking it, putting it into the furnace, rolling it. Here's the wheat. Whoops. Yeah, that's the traditional oven. More modern. See the triangle shape, right? Yeah, I mean,
See, an Afrocentric can't even tell you what kind of bread this is. Oh my God.
Everything about modern Egypt just screams ancient Egypt. Everything, guys. Everything. I'm sure you can hear from my voice I'm so worn out, but I think it was ultimately worth it to gather all these pictures and make this presentation. I truly believe this will deconvert even the most hardcore Afrocentric assholes. Excuse my language.
Now, mind you, for anybody who came late, the guy who's putting this little video correlation together is a very dark-skinned black Kenyan or Tanzanian. I think he's from both Kenya and Tanzania, okay, which is East Africa. So he knows a little more about the culture and the ways and how it's influenced his East African culture.
Okay. And yeah, this is the last one. Yeah. All right.
Wait a minute. Them same stone ovens. Hold on, let me get a pause it. Them same stone ovens.
Yeah. Alrighty. Next, number 10, burial tombs, and also known as little houses. So essentially, Egyptians have entire cities of houses where they put bodies. Especially the more you can afford, the better the tomb is. The main known ones are the...
We got another late bird in the chat who should rewind this video to the beginning because he came in late. Never open a book in the middle and start reading and think you know what's happening. Okay? We keep explaining this lookership thing niggas is crying about because they're mad, right? Lookership and shit. This video is just showing video correlations of cultural continuity. You missed this at the beginning. You should go back. Okay? When you come into a chat late, just chill and listen, or just rewind the fucking video. You don't have to watch it when it's live in color. Just rewind it right now and go back and get all that good shit you missed from the first minute up until now. Okay? You're getting half an education. Get the whole education if you're sincere. You know what? I'm running my mouth again. I'm away from the goddamn mic talking into my phone again. But I was saying that if you come in here late, it's okay to rewind the video, y'all. I keep over and over saying he is just showing this is just a video about cultural continuity, basically. And showing you how they still practice what they did in ancient times. They were showing that they still make shaptis and shit. You know what I mean? Whoever came in here late talking about lookership, rewind it to the beginning. That's just what this is, lookership. If you want some scholarship, I got plenty videos. I did a video earlier today where I'm showing scholarship. Okay? This is just a video observation. God damn. You niggas is negative about everything because you mad. The phone is throwing me off. I gotta put it down. Cool.
The City of the Dead in Cairo and the City of the Dead in Minya. This is the one in Minya. You see, they put the bodies inside here. There's so many of these, it's almost endless. This is the tombs. These are essentially tombs. Like most people around the world, they bury their dead just underground. And there is some of that in Egypt as well. But all these houses here, these aren't people living in here, it's for corpses, for bodies.
See, no Afrocentric ever told me that. I had no idea that they had these houses. They look like homes, but they're tombs and for dead people and shit. This is like really, like what he's saying basically is this is an necropolis. This is the city of the dead, it seems like he's saying to me.
Because essentially it's like the little house that you're going to stay in the afterlife. And it's much easier for families to visit and sit around and all that. Yeah, it's honestly crazy. There's many, and it goes for so far. The one in Cairo is actually considered a UNHCR heritage site because it's so distinct and unique.
Did you hear what Egyptologist 7 said? If you cannot see the cultural continuity, then that is a reflection of your bias. What other people carry on these traditions? I mean, like, just say the people who's carrying on these traditions, and then you can help us out with something. Other than that, just chill. And understand this was never your history. No practice in sub-Saharan Africa is carrying on these kind of practices. Okay?
More of the houses. Yeah, this is a family burial from 1930s. And basically whole families are laid in these kind of structures. And this one in particular, it's neo-pharaonic style. Just like the ancients. Who else does this? Nobody. Only the modern Egyptians. Unfortunately, like I was reading with the government, some of them have been demolished, and it's a heritage site, so that kind of sucks because it's they wanted to put like a highway through here, but I'll have to read up more on what kind of situation it is in now. But anyway, yes, these are the houses where you'd have people buried in. And this is Tuna El Gabal. This was done by the ancient Egyptians, so I'm sure it's obvious. You can see this tomb exactly like what we've been seeing the modern Egyptians, what they've been continuing to do. Speaks for itself, honestly. All right, now the big one, another big one, the genetics, the autosomal, the Y-DNA, and the mtDNA. So we're going to start with the Y-DNA. The Y-DNA really just finishes this entire argument. Afrocentrists never ever want to debate me on the Y chromosome. They don't want to debate me on genetics in general because it debunks all their nonsense. Northern Egypt is mostly E1B1B, so and in the south it's majority. So it debunks the idea that they're just descendants of invaders. Unless you believe it was foreign woman who came to invade Egypt, but no, it's not. So EV22 is 40% in the north, EM81 5%, and EV65 5%. So in the delta, E1B1B is predominant, and especially in the farmers, all of them, nearly all of them are EV22. In those farming villages, you'll find a lot of EV22 people. And of course, in the north, it's more cosmopolitan. We know about the history with the Hyksos. So there's some Near Eastern chromosomes. But as I mentioned before, some of the J, G, and R1B may have come a bit earlier, rather than just being recently from Arabs or anything like that. And
boy, this is a fine remodeling job, this video right here, bro. Hey, we still coming for you niggas hard, boy. It's gonna get tougher and tougher and tougher for Afrocentrics. I'm not ever letting up off your ass.
In the south, of course, it's higher, EV12. And yeah, the Y chromosome, Egyptians are not invaders. They're indigenous North Africans. Next up, from the 2017 study in Middle Egypt and Lower Egypt, it showed that modern Egyptians have continuity from the New Kingdom. That's what the latest DNA test is saying, okay? So from the New Kingdom, modern Egyptians have continuity. And there's an upcoming study that, from the leak I saw, it was pretty much saying the same thing. That
he said it's an upcoming study, right? It's several upcoming studies that's gonna piss niggas off. Y'all better get on the right side of history, like right now. You better get on the Chief X team as soon as possible. Because the next 2 years, y'all gonna be looking stupid. In 2 years from now, I'm gonna have all you niggas on record. I'm gonna be showing video clips from all this shit y'all talking. And I'm gonna say I told your ass.
there is that the ancient Egyptians were similar to the Abu Sir ones. So it could go even further, but from non-genetics anthropology, it shows that it goes much further back. But genetically speaking, from what we know, the oldest corpses that we've analyzed are from the New Kingdom. In terms of autosomal DNA, they do have older ones, but they just get like the empty DNA.
I am not at all a DNA guy. I don't be understanding this shit. All I know is I follow that mtDNA and just tell me the area it's from. Okay, oh, that's West Asia? Okay, that's all I need to know.
Certain markers, but autosomal DNA, that's what matters for ethnicity. And they have over 80% genetic continuity with those samples taken from the north. And genetically as well, all Egyptians have a distinct North African cluster at 65%. So what that means is 65% of their ancestry is unique to them alone. And that's overwhelming. I'll link the paper below. It's from 2009. And then as well, there's another one with the Genographic Project, which had it at almost 70%. So DNA, it's really strong. It just debunks all the nonsense by Afrocentrists saying Egyptians are just descendants of the various invaders. Not true. And if you read the Abu Sir paper, the community in El Malek, Abu Sir El Malek, they didn't have any changes from 1,300, over 1,300 years since the New Kingdom. So all those other invasions were meaningless. But of course, as it shows, there was some kind of Asiatic migrations, especially in the north. But even in the north, there's still mostly E1, B1A. All right. Regional location and migratory history. So just look where Egypt is. It's literally in the corridor near the Middle East. It's along the Mediterranean. It's in North Africa. You've had, like, just go and watch this. You've had so many back migrations. So just from the region alone, you can expect the people would not just be black Africans. And there's a massive desert, and you need camels to essentially cross it. So the desert extends all over here. And the Egyptians were not the camel people. They weren't pastoralists, they were farmers. And the Nile Valley was everything to them. They didn't just leave because they couldn't go anywhere else, really.
Did you guys hear that logic? They didn't just leave. They couldn't go nowhere. Who goes to a desert? Too fucking hot. Nobody's going to the desert. Yeah, they were right there.
Maybe only around the Sudan, but that's only a few warriors and soldiers, because the farmers, basically the bulk of the population, would not go anywhere, because everything, their entire lifestyle, their religion, it all revolved around that river. Because everything else around was Deshret. Deshret just means the red sands of the desert, and Kemet means the fertile Nile, the soil. That's why they worshipped it, because it sustained them in everything. And yeah, we were already here, us West Africans and Bantus, we're forest people. We're not desert people. No way are we desert people.
Why would you say we forest people? I keep telling you, I'm a tropical African. I come out them forests of the Congo. When I was in Ghana, I was in the forest. Okay? when y'all seen that video of me had that bottle of honey, I bought that in the forest. Right? I felt right at home. I felt like I wanted to stay right there in that forest in Ghana and set up camp. I just felt like staying there. I said, this is home right here. I just feel I was in that. I'm a forest people. Y'all can be desert niggas. I'm not.
Their thing. Khoisan doing their thing. Pygmy doing their thing. etc. Everyone on the continent has their own history. Yeah, just go and watch this video. It'll explain the demographic changes, the migrations and all that. Demographic movements, excuse me. Okay, next up is clothing, the jalabia. So this was worn by the ancient Egyptians, high priests and priestesses. And you can see how the style's still worn today. It's the main clothing. It's the main garment.
Hey, information man, if you still watching the video, let me know in the chat.
Worn by people in Egypt. Here we go. See that? Very long robe. It's quite versatile, especially for the father. See that?
Look here, cool. That's the same shit, bro. That's the same motherfucking shit.
Very long robe. It's quite versatile, especially for the farmers who are always outside working in the heat. This is a North Cairo farmer. Remember him from the previous video. Just look how dark he is, guys. You Hoteps need to get over it and just stop it already. Leave them alone. Leave Egyptian people alone. More jalabia wearers. And now the music and dance, it brings us to baladi, belly dance and music. Belly dance used to be much more.
Why are these women lighter?
Of a thing, like in the past, but because of religions, decreased quite a bit, but can still be found in a couple of places. And even if you listen to the balladi music, it's very ancient Egyptian with the flutes.
I wonder if she a lower Egyptian and these guys are upper Egyptians. I don't know.
The instruments used, and with the dance moves. Belly dancing is really a great Egyptian pastime. The music by the Saidis, it's very, very ancient Egyptian sounding. I'll sample a bit here. Okay. And Egyptian sounding. I'll sample a bit here.
Man, I'm telling you. Oh my God, I never made that correlation. Wait a minute. Cause when we was popping and breakdancing, we pop locking out here, we call that the King Tut. Wait a minute, let me tut for y'all. Hold on. Wait a minute, where we at? We're gonna get back to the video. Where's the King Tut? We used to be getting down. Bam, 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 bam. That's that Egyptian music. They was doing the King Tut. All right, let me get back. Let me focus.
Okay. And go and watch this about the ancient Egyptian belly dance. You know, these dance moves, they're not done anywhere else. This is not how we Niger-Congo people dance, or Nilotes or Kushites or anything like that. Like, they're very specific and unique to North Africa. So check out this video, and I challenge you to find the same kind of dance moves anywhere.
Oh my God, they were like, can you tut? And we be doing these King Tut moves. That's what they call it, tutting. That nigga can tut. He can King Tut, is what they saying. That nigga can tut.
You won't. You won't. You can see the dance here, belly dancing, traditional. And yeah, that's the flutes. They play it. And okay,
wait a
they
minute.
play it.
They got them flutes.
And yeah, that's the flutes. They play it. And okay. You know, the belly dance really acquires a lot of movement of the body. You need to be quite flexible too. Modern Egyptians, the girl is dancing. Here as well, you can see it, the arched back. And with the music, the instrument is called simsimia. Simsimia, like a harp, still being played and used. Just on the belly dancing, I'll link as well some famous people. Banat Mazin, it was a group of sisters, and Karia Mazin is a well-known one. They were called Gawazi. They used to be all over Luxor.
Was it, please tell them there ain't no yoga.
Before they were kind of banned by the religious aspects. But anyway, yeah, this is the simsimia. Still played and done. Same instrument. All right, now what I personally like the most, phenotype and iconography similarities. So,
hey, Egyptologist 7, are you fine as this chick on the right? If you fine as this chick on the right here, we might need to talk, baby girl.
I'm sure by now you've seen modern Egyptians. They look just like the ancient Egyptians, if you've seen the previous videos and also some of what I showed here already. But this is just going to drive the point home. Egyptians, they, as I said before, they have their own look. All right. A lot of Afrocentrists are dishonest. They show some like white Arab-looking person and use that to represent everybody, which is not true. Most Egyptians are intermediate tone, brown too. So yeah, this is just some comparisons I've done. This is the original. You'll find a lot of artwork. Afrocentrists actually darken it, which is not what is originally shown. I've seen so many of these. I might have to do an entire video dealing with Afro Shop. That's a nickname coined by a number of Egyptians. They call it Afro Shop.
Yeah, because I've seen the same picture and it was dark. He said he might do a whole video and call it Afro Shop. I mean, there's so many pictures on Facebook that's just photoshopped and darkened. I mean, it's crazy. Like, who would sit there and say, let me darken this shit a little bit so I can fool these people? Who does that? Afrocentrics? No, not Afrocentrics. A lot of them crazy Moors and Hebrews and all them other crazy nuts be doing that shit too, though.
Because Afrocentrics Photoshop pics to make them appear blacker or darker than they are. They also do it with some of the features of the Egyptians. Like I've seen statues where Afrocentrists make the nose big and all that. But even if they were to do that, it wouldn't matter because Egyptians in general, they have such diverse features. So even their lies will backfire on them. Yeah, but I think this is pretty much self-evident. This is a mix of Upper Egyptians and Lower Egyptians.
Egyptologist 7, I might have to send for you to come to Cali, girl. We might have to have lunch together.
Look how unique they all look, right? I hope by now you've seen what I mean by the Egyptian phenotype that I'm trying to showcase. Alright, so we'll just start with some Upper Egyptians.
What you mean, Neptune's ago? You made one or two of them?
Yeah, Saidis really just debunk Afrocentrism. You know, anybody sees a Saidi, they scream, yep, that's what the ancient Egyptians look like. My profile and my favorite picture of any Saidi. Yeah, this guy is just so cool looking.
Now, that's not him. He's been playing this game. He revealed himself who he is. He's a very black, dark-skinned guy.
Dark red skin. Yes, so go and watch this video for more Saidi phenotypes, as this one will just include newer ones. And an Egyptian man on the Nile with his flag, proudly Egyptian, and also proudly ancient Egyptian. Yep, so go and watch it, please. Watch all my videos, in fact. Like, comment, and subscribe too. It helps. Okay. This is what white people look like next to Upper Egyptians, so Afrocentrics, once again, stop with your nonsense.
Hey,
even Egyptians in general.
Vanilla Scoop, I'm glad you asked that question, right? Finally a decent, unbiased question. Chief X, why you don't just get a professor of anthropology or Egyptology on your platform and interview them? I can't wait. I'm looking for this guy right now. I already have him up. Here we go. Right here, David A. Falk. I'm looking for David A. Falk. This guy on the right. Send him to me if anybody got the contact. I think this is the same guy that was on Garfield's channel. He's an Egyptologist. Okay, you see how I had that already set up because I was listening to him.
much darker than this kind of white. And the Egyptian white isn't European white. Like those Egyptians that are lighter skinned, it's not like this guy with the red and all that. All right. Saidi school children and their teacher. Little girl carrying. Yeah, just look at the features, man. Damn. All Egyptians, as I stated before, have a mulatto look. It's obviously not mulatto as in New World mulatto, but you know what I mean. Sub-Saharan with Eurasian too. There are no pure Eurasians on our continent, you know. All North Africans carry some SSA admix. And it wasn't because of slavery. The SSA was there in the beginning.
I disagree with him on that point. Okay? I just disagree with him on that point.
It's a Eurocentric myth. There they are, looking just like their ancestors. Ghanaese girl from the west bank of Luxor.
And now, see, they got a black boy in there, right here. Well, y'all can't see my arrow. They got a little couple black kids in the middle. One of the school kids. Now, he is tightly coiled. And he's just a homie as well. It's just probably an ethnic group in Egypt, right? Egypt is 97% Egyptian, I think. I stand to be corrected. And it's 3% other ethnicities, right? So he's part of that 3% more than likely.
All right, so in this picture, I just want to point out that maybe 1, 2, and 3 are legit Nubians, but the rest are...
Okay, so he's calling them Nubians. Okay, they're probably from down in southern Egypt.
Egyptians, you know, you do have a lot of Saidis that are normally dark-skinned. And yes, many Egyptians were white-skinned, light-skinned, not white European, light-skinned. Quite a diverse group, yeah? Okay. Saidi man preparing to give a haircut. Temple researcher. Yeah, it kind of looks like Akhenaten. I think this is Muhammad Ramadan. I could be wrong, but I think it is. He just has a beard here. Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy Gamal Nasser's page, Aku.
Luxor boy with a fake bow and arrow. Yeah, getting this dark is actually quite rare. Could be an actual Nubian, but maybe not as well, because there are Saidis that become dark, quite dark. And yeah, of course, it's because of the sub-Saharan ancestry, which is more prevalent in
Luxor boxing girls. These girls box? That's cool.
the south. Very Egyptian profile. I think this was a general, but I can't remember his name right now. All right. Last slide on Saidis. These two are tourists. These four are the Egyptians. Okay, Lower Egyptians. Lower Egyptians, I'll say for the last time, they're just as Egyptian as the ones in the south. You know, Egypt, even in pre-dynastic, you had a regional climb going north to south of great phenotypic variation. Light skin, though, is more prevalent in the north, but even they, like if they're in the sun for long enough, as I showed, no problem. They become quite dark. Yeah, I mean, look at his features. This is a typical northern Egyptian look.
Now that look, he has a Moroccan look. This guy on the left, he has he has this Maghreb, like he's a Maghrebi.
It's hard to explain unless you like really understand Egyptian phenotypes. But it's not like Greek. It's not anything. It's not Turkish. It's just Egyptian. And this is a first intermediate period, basically Old Kingdom, Jehuti Nacht. Jehuti Nacht. And he was light, just like this Lower Egyptian man. Boy. Okay. This is a Coptic apologist. I think he's an evangelical actually in America, and he
looked like he black and white. The guy on the right, but it's just a look. I don't know. Some pictures, I don't know. I'm just saying he looked just like my best friend I used to have when I was in the Navy. He was black and white. His daddy was dark as fuck, but his mama was white. So he just looked like a light-skinned black. He didn't look biracial. Yeah, this guy looks like one of my best friends I was with from Rolling 60s.
I heard he usually gets mistaken for black American. In US, they have one-drop rule, right? So if we go by that, then any sub-Saharan ancestry makes you...
This guy on the right is definitely biracial. I don't care whoever's. This guy right on the right, to me, he's a biracial. So we're just playing a kind of a guessing game now, because Jamal doesn't seem sure on some of these pictures, because I guess some of these pictures are pictures he just kind of put up. So if I'm guessing, this guy on the right, definitely biracial.
Black, but of course in Africa and how they actually see themselves, it's much different than the American ignorance, I call it. Because North Africans, Horn of Africans, Middle Eastern people, they can be categorized simply as black or white. But if we're to speak genetically, they're mostly West Asian. But they do have a substantial sub-Saharan contribution too. All right. Mashallah. Mohammed Ajab from the UK. I'm not sure where he's from, but I think probably Cairo. I watch a lot of his videos. I really respect the Dawah team in the UK. Okay. football players. Yeah, it just means darker and tan skin
I had to time you out, Vanilla Scoop. You were showing some deceit again.
tone. You see the light woman here. Just look at her features. Yeah. Some people consider Egyptians to be like Dominicans. But I think Dominicans, I think Dominicans and Egyptians might have the same levels of black African admixture. These are all low Egyptians, man. Egyptian phenotype. Perfect. This is Nawal El Sadawi. If you know, she wrote The Woman in Point Zero, which is a well-known book.
Yeah, Egyptologist, you said you think some Cubans have Berber ancestry. I did read something about the Latin world and Berber ancestry. So maybe I need to do a little more research on that. Because a lot of them people up out of Spain were in the Mediterranean world, right? And Spain is right next to Morocco. So I would, a lot of the Latin world and in Cuba, I wouldn't doubt. Puerto Rico, I wouldn't doubt they got some Berber blood. I never thought about that. Interesting.
All right.
Hey, cool. You enjoy yourself, man. Good night, bro. We're doing a live with Pseudo Killers Saturday night, and I would love to have you on. Me, Chef Ron, Corey, and King Sosa. We'll be doing I'll be interviewing the Pseudo Killers, and we're gonna have a nice discussion. This is Saturday night. Saturday night gonna be hot.
Again, look at the skull shape, right? A lot of facial projection. Tanned men or dark men and light women. These are school children from Alexandria. I used to think Alexandria will have some more foreign influx than any part, but nope, even many of them just look Egyptian. A bit black looking, right? Quote unquote black. Alright. If the girls spend time outside playing sports and all that, they can get dark too. Yeah, and black people aren't the only one who braid hair. In the entire ancient world, they were braiding their hair. It used to be such a common Mediterranean tradition to do that. Everyone braids their hair, basically, all around the world. And look what an Egyptian woman who braids her hair looks like. Ancient Egyptian. Ahmed Zaki, an actor. Adel Imam. Look at his features, right? Uniquely to Egypt. They say it's an Egyptid phenotype. Okay.
Y'all, I think I'm gonna fast forward this video a little bit. It's getting late and I'm getting tired. This is a long, damn near almost 3-hour video. So let me see what I can fast forward it to some other interesting points. Hold on.
Egyptian girls. They celebrated their graduation by dressing like this. That's where I got the picture from. I mean, look at this Chad, man. And I think this... All right.
Okay, this looks like an interesting part. It says misconceptions and clarifications.
Wow, we're nearly reaching the end. I have no idea how long this video has gone for, but we'll just finish it off. All right. So misconceptions and clarifications. This is essentially how the ancient Egyptians saw themselves. They were not as light as their northern neighbors, and that's what we see even today. And they weren't as dark as the Kushites in the south. Again, sorry, I'm just a bit tired. I'm kind of losing my voice, but...
So let me just say something real quick. So see the hair? That's just how the artist was drawing the hair. They're similar to... So we already know, like, you see I think the guy, the second to the right. Is that considered the Libyan? Okay. But so you see his beard? His beard is like everyone else's hair. So an Afrocentric will tell you these are some braids or just like some just some curly afro or something. But it's not. You know what I mean? This hair is just like the braid hair in his beard. Maybe it's just how the artist drew it. I don't know. I don't even know if these are wigs, but whatever.
But we're finishing up now. I hope you're still here. And I'll be sure to add chapter points in the video so people can go and can jump to whatever part that interests them. Anyway, yeah. That's how they saw themselves, and in terms of the modern showcasing of that, it's a Libyan man, Libyan soldier, an Nilotic soldier from South Sudan, IDF, Israeli, to show how the Canaanites were. And this is a northern Egyptian soldier.
I was trying to time someone out and I accidentally deleted your message. Neptune's Lagoon, sorry about that. That was an accident.
And of course, he's had a lot of time outside, so they can get really dark too. But also many Egyptians are naturally melanated, so just being brown skin. So yeah, I think this works pretty well. All right, next up, how did they see themselves to their neighbors in general?
So you remember the video I did not yesterday, but earlier today I did another live. And I was saying how the Egyptians had certain names for the Nubians, and one was the Scarred. You see how he has this scarification, the Scarred? That's who he was talking about.
Everybody was considered an enemy. Egypt had a lot of enemies, but at times they did also have good relations with their neighbors. So the Nilotic man, I think he's Noah, being depicted tied up. And it wasn't just the Nilots, it included Asiatics as well, the enemies of Egypt. Here is a Bedouin from Jordan. And just with the skin tone, the black Hebrews are so misleading because they cherry pick like these dark ones, but that doesn't mean anything. If you look at the features and the tone, it means a tanned Bedouin man. That's how they would have looked back then. Here as well with the Philistine.
Because now they got air conditioning and homes and shit, you know what I mean?
That was it a Canaanite? I'm not sure, but yeah, that doesn't mean they were black or Hebrews were black. Hebrews were not black. Get over it. Just like you need to get over the Egyptians as being the modern Egyptians. That's just a fact. Okay. Libyan, Greek islander, or this could be
accidentally timed out Neptune.
Mitanni.
I don't know how to correct
Canaanite, yeah. Yada yada. And yes, both of them, both the blacks and the Near Easterners, were depicted in not flattering ways. King Tut, once again tied up. King Tut's walking stick. A Cushite man tied up. And here again with the skin tones, they used so many different ones for the Libyans, for the Canaanites, etc. It just had different meanings, sometimes more realistic because they get dark too. But anyway, yeah, bowing down in worship to the Egyptians. This was like a way to show humiliation on your enemies. Egyptians with Nubian slaves. Nubian slave again. It's really funny how Afrocentrics and Eurocentrics love to cherry pick. But yeah, that's how Egyptians saw themselves and their enemies. King Tut charging at Nubians. You can see how Egyptians are depicted very differently.
And earlier in the video, I showed the DNA of King Tut. King Tut's mummy DNA is K, which is West Asia, to my understanding.
Yeah, they remind me of these Omotic people. The Nubians, the style of hair. Quite brutal, to be honest. Hunting dogs.
They didn't sick the police dogs on their ass, huh?
The Egyptian soldiers. The Egyptian soldiers.
Wait a minute.
That's.
I'm trying to see how many bows in his hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Oh, never mind.
The Egyptian soldiers from that same relief. Just like these modern Egyptian boys. See how similar they are. And yep, it wasn't just the stereotypical black people, but Near Easterners too got a taste of the Egyptian hammer. Yeah, Egyptians hammered so many people, man. Ramses charging the Cushites.
Caucasian on the right, riding on black folk.
Same same leopard cloth as South Sudanese today. lion cloth, same leopard cloth as South Sudanese today.
So, when Sarah Susan said he does his lectures, right? And he was talking about the Olmecs in Mesoamerica and shit like that, and he was talking about, yeah, they got the same animal skin, I told you. But these are leopard skins. What Sarah Sudan said he was pointing out was a jaguar skin. He just didn't know the difference. So what Shetty was showing in Mesoamerica was jaguar skin, not leopard skins.
Libyans too. I've heard that this one might actually be not genuine and photoshopped because of over here with the horse. You see how it's depicted, and I've been trying to trace the source, but I haven't been able to find it. But anyway, in this case, we'll say it's genuine. Tanned, dark Egyptian. This is Ramses II, who came from the north. Avaris and Libyan men. This is an Egyptian, Medo, once again. And yeah, Ramses II too, subjugating them. And the Libyans are darker here. Man, this Libyan guy kind of has an afro. As you know, all North Africans do have some SSA. Anyway, yeah. Ramses. The Near Easterner and the Kushite once again, tied up and subjugated. And Egyptians use many different colors. I was trying to get this across to somebody in the comments. Near Easterners weren't always just depicted white, but red, even brown. Where is that? Yeah. Same with the Nubians. They weren't just black all the time. But some of this as well could have been to make the image better. Because if ever...
I read that too. They made some of the Nubians black and brown. It's for the imagery, and he said the same thing. I was reading that shit yesterday or something like that. Somebody was breaking down. Anyway, here we go.
Everyone was depicted black, it wouldn't look visually clear. There wouldn't be a nice contrast. No, Egyptians were very skilled artists. They used a number.
Yeah, so because if they were all pitch black right here, it wouldn't look, the artwork would look different.
Of conventions. No, Egyptians were very skilled artists. They used a number of conventions. Okay, next up, I just want to clarify some things about the Hyksos. This is Kenahu Hotep II. I notice his tomb is used a lot by Afrocentrists, and it's kind of misleading because if you see the tomb, all the women are depicted that same yellow tone. All the Egyptian women are that same yellow tone as the Hyksos, right? So it's not literal all the time. And even Kenahu Hotep too, this looks like any old Saidi, you know. This is Saidi. See the mustache, dark. Again, this is if we're playing the literal game. Because, you know, Afrocentrists like to play a number of games when it comes to the Egyptian art. Sometimes it's symbolic, sometimes it's literal, etc. Either way, you guys lose, because Egyptians look like everything, collectively. Okay. So, yeah, and it's true, you know, there is some Hyksos and Asiatic later influence in the Delta.
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, people.
But the Delta as a whole, it's just more Saidi with Mentu Hotep coming up soon. I did an entire video on that. Anyway, yeah, Egyptians and Beja. Matches perfectly if I don't say so myself. See the face of the head, right?
Wait a minute.
I'm talking about ethnic Egyptian. I did an entire video on that. Anyway, yeah, Egyptians and Beja. Matches perfectly if I don't say so myself. See the face of the head, right? The afro texture. Very puffed up hair. And yeah, these are the Egyptians who went to Punt. So I want to cover something else to do with the Puntites. Because the Puntites themselves are not Egyptians. The Egyptians are not Puntites. There were two different groups of people. So this is from Hatshepsut's mortuary temple, Queen Ati and King Perahu. And I've always said the land of Punt is for sure in the Horn of Africa. I do plan on doing a private video on it. I was supposed to do it sooner, but you know, making videos you get distracted by a lot of things. Anyway, yeah, these are the Puntites. This is an Afari man. And people love using these pictures of Horn of Africans and trying to pass them off as ancient Egyptians. It can't be further from the truth, because they're not. They've never farmed or done agriculture in the Nile Valley, ever. You know, they're mostly pastoral people, and there's nothing wrong with that. And they're also a trading people, because the land of Punt was a trading kingdom. They're not Egyptians. Puntites and Egyptians are different people. This is a Somali woman. And even when you look at the houses for the Puntites, the rounded homesteads, it's exactly how they still live today, with the tents, with the desert tents. This is exactly like what was seen in the kingdom of Punt. You know, obviously the ladder, these sticks, this is just, what do they call it? Mythologizing, right? And whatever kind of symbolism they would have incorporated. But obviously the realistic depiction would have been something like this. Coming out of the opening. And yeah, they still keep the traditional hairstyles. And I just want to point out, you know, Kushites in general, they have strong connections with the modern and ancient Egyptians. The land of Punt was revered for the incense they bought, ivory, and a bunch of other goods. It was really respected. So I'm not in any way undermining the history of the Cushitic peoples. You know, they themselves have their own unique traditions, customs, languages, and history that they've done in their region. But they're not actress or singer. If we're to just look at the facial features, ignoring the skin tone, I think it's quite striking, actually. And she actually has kind of reddish auburn.
She got that Caucasian hair.
Basically meaning reddish brownish hair. And a lot of Eurocentrists use this to be like, oh, Egyptian or Caucasoid or Europeans. No, it's not true. Frank Yoko noted many Egyptians have reddish, natural reddish hair. So this is Egyptian journalist. Can't remember her name though. Yeah, the Queen Tier relief. It's original. This isn't fake. You can see it in the tomb. And yeah, just on the hair, these weren't blondes. This the hair changes from mummification. Also, the Egyptians did use henna, I believe, too. So, but yeah.
Wait, who's that? Thuya? What did he say? I think that. But look, got that Caucasian hair.
Yes, you did have natural blonde and redheads too. But just not these guys. These are Queen Tia's parents, Yuya and Thuya.
Yeah, I was right. Well, I'm learning. Yuya and Thuya. Now, I didn't watch this whole video. I might have watched maybe 30 minutes of it, so we all watching at the same time, right? Those is Queen T parents with that Caucasian hair. She had Caucasian hair.
Yeah, they are, right? Queen Tia was not a black woman. She wasn't. Okay. Yuya and Thuya, their funerary masks. Anyway, next up, King Tut. You know, I've always said Egyptians used many different colors. One person could have been depicted with so many different tones because each had symbolic significance. But not all the time, as we saw with Mentuhotep and Nersbit. They were actually black Nubians, but Tut was not. He was Egyptian. And last time, skin tone games, you know, this Egyptian boy looks exactly like King Tut. I also have many more similarities coming up right now. Here we are. See
yeah,
that?
I used this picture in my lecture earlier today when I was showing King Tut and how Nubians was bringing tribute to King Tut. And Nubians was bringing slaves to King Tut. You know what I mean?
King Tut, the profile, the looks.
All in them processions, the Nubians was bowing down and giving honor to King Tut, the Caucasian.
Everything. And next up, that's the corpse of King Tutankhamun. There's one guy here in particular. I'll show him right now. Perfect, right? Looks exactly like King Tut. Look at that, his bone structure. Looking upon his ancestor. Okay, again. King Tut's... wait, no, this is King Tut or Akhenaten? Yeah, I think this is King Tut. I just saw Aten, so it kind of confused me. Yeah, this is King Tut. Yeah, it looks just like this Egyptian boy side profile. Yep. And once again, like for like. Great grandfather, grandson. All right, and King Tut's an incomplete bust, and looks just like these boys, man. Next up, Hatshepsut. She was also depicted with many different tones. But feature-wise, yeah, she reminds me of Asma Abdul Yazid. If you see more pictures of her, she's actually quite dark. They call the tone Asma. But yeah, I think it's just much lighter. But yeah, she reminds me of Hatshepsut quite a bit, and this Fellahin lady as well.
What is discreet man in here talking about? Egyptians and Eskimos and shit? Oh, Lord have mercy.
And you can see the features. And yeah, the mummy looks so much like this Egyptian woman I came across, and she's actually
I don't like when people do mummy and skeletal comparisons and shit like that. I mean, I'm just not into that.
Looking down. You can see the nose is tilted down.
Yeah, I like the hair comparisons,
but if she was looking at your head, her chin would have and jaw would have been much bigger. You know, Hatshepsut had really broad.
Wait a minute. Discreet man said he is indigenous, aboriginal, native, Moorish, Hebrew. Oh my God. Black folk don't even. See, these niggas in the conscious community don't even know what Aboriginal is. Aboriginal is a term that only applies to original Australians. Those who left out of Africa 50K, wait a minute. Yeah, 25,000 years later, they ended up in Australia, admixed, changed, a new type of human. Those are called Aboriginal people. The Tasmanian people, original Australians, and certain islands around it are called Aboriginal people. Aboriginal is not a term for Africans. Aboriginal is not a term for white folk. It's sometimes Aboriginal is used for Native Americans in Canada, though. But in general, Aboriginal is for original Australians. Okay? So, crazy guy, go ahead and look that up.
Chin index, cheekbones, and jaw in general. Very powerful woman. I think she was a high testosterone woman, in fact.
Vanilla Scoop. I have a whole presentation on who is an Aboriginal. Trust me, I know. Put in who is an Aboriginal and go watch the presentation. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. An Aboriginal is an original Australian. Everywhere you look up Aboriginal in the definition, you're going to see Australia next to it. You'll never, ever, ever see African next to it. Okay? You'll never, ever see Black American next to it. You'll never see white people, European. You'll never see none of this shit.
Anyway, yeah. And, okay, side profile. Just a vintage Egyptian woman from Cairo. Ramses II. Afrocentrics will never show you this one. Or they mischaracterize it. Like they show this as an afro. But it's not. This is a... This is a crown. And it's not nappy hair. Or the Tutsi hairstyle.
The conscious community dumb as fuck, boy. They so brainwashed.
Oh, whatever. That's just nonsense. It's a crown. Again, Ramses II. Look alike. Ramses, as I said, was from the north, from the delta. The entire Ramessides were from way up there, so they wouldn't have been black. And again. Okay. Probably what he would have looked like when he was younger, and his queen, Nefertari. And then here, when they're older. She also kind of looks like Nefertiti, this Egyptian model. Very strong chin. And it's just a typical Southern Egyptian phenotype. Big nose, massive nose. So guys, that ends this long presentation. I hope you've enjoyed it. We really went through so much. And I think it's proven beyond a doubt that the modern Egyptians are indeed the ancient Egyptians. And
yeah, he was dressed up, Donnie. So yeah, it was fake. They're doing. He was in costume.
This is really for my people.
Jesus, Donnie, come on, man. You trying to knock everything tonight. You showing your envy tonight, Donnie.
My fellow black people, black Africans, which includes the Horn of Africans. We should really stop attacking.
And Fitz, you should go all the way to the beginning. I think you came late also. You missed a lot of the information in the beginning.
The modern Egyptians. Stop insulting them. Stop claiming their history.
Hey Fitz, go tell all them niggas Chief X been right this whole fucking time. I'm y'all's teacher. Y'all just disobedient students.
theirs, and it's just so obvious after everything we've seen and been through. As always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm just going to reach the end of the presentation of where it started, just because I think it'll be a fitting end to see the whole journey that we've been through. And I do apologize if I sounded too boring, but this is unscripted, and it'll be way too hard for me to have written everything down in relation to a specific slide. But I hope I did a good job. I hope you enjoy this video. Like, comment, share it. It's dark hair, dark skin. Okay, just some more of the head hieroglyphics. Who knows, maybe it could be Nama. So, I do apologize if I sounded too boring, but this is unscripted.
Well, all right. Well, all right. So, my damn phone's about to die. I'm tired. It's 1:24 in the morning in California. So I know anybody else who's in America, it has to be 3:30 in the morning in the South. If you're on the East Coast, it's 4:30 in the morning, and y'all is up still. So I mean, I appreciate y'all participation on this little video. This was an amazing video put together. So the video was 3 hours long, right? So when I said it took this guy a long time to put this video together, he and Vanilla Scoop say it didn't take no long time. The man himself said it took him a long time. I'm talking about what he said. He made the goddamn video. You know how long it takes to put all these pictures together and put the music to it and correlate it and make sure you have it all in order? Then he had 17 points he was making, and under them points he lectured on them points. Man, it took this video must have took at least 2 weeks to put together. You know what I mean? He did his thing in that video. He showed without a shadow of a doubt cultural continuity between modern Egyptians and ancient Egyptians. And if anybody doesn't agree, they're strictly suffering from mental health issues, or just a fucking habitual liar fuckboy who should be sterilized so they won't procreate anymore. We don't need to bring any more ignorant people into the world. Bring back sterilization. Don't let these motherfuckers procreate. Which is, are you in another country, Fitz? You in Europe, ain't you? You're in the UK, I think, Fitz. But see, in America, I'm in Cali. We 3 hours behind everyone else. We're in the ideal time frame. Like when I'm watching a Laker game at 7 o'clock at night, people in New York gotta watch it at 10 o'clock at night. So I'm watching a late basketball game from 7 to 10. New Yorkers gotta watch the game from 10 to fucking 2 in the morning. I'm in Cali. I'm in the good part. Say, hey, appreciate y'all. Hold on. Is time still? Yeah, time is still ticking. Wait a minute. Oh, now he want to talk shit. I'm gonna just hide him from the fucking channel. He can never comment again now. Bitch ass nigga. That's one of them hoe ass niggas with mental health problems. One of them niggas that need to be put in the dirt. Hey, peace, y'all. I enjoyed myself. I'm out.